Hello, dear students. Welcome to history class. We are learning chapter number 9, the last phase of the struggle for independence. In this lesson, we have already learned the Act of 1935, Provincial Cabinet, the Second World War, and the Indian National Congress, and Quit India movement, etc. And we also came to know that how the Indian representatives, Indian National Congress representatives started Quit India movement, how it became more and more stronger, how people started showing their interest towards the freedom movement, etc. And beginning of people movement also we learned in this lesson. Now in this session we are going to learn some of the underground movements started by the Indian representatives. Underground movement. What is underground movement? Some of the secret movements started by Indian representatives, Indian National Congress leader representatives. They started radio stations. Through this radio station, they started delivering inspiring speeches and inspiring songs, etc., to attract the people towards the freedom struggle. And this movement is known as underground movement. Some secret movement started by the Indian National Congress representatives and other revolutionaries in India. That movement is known as underground movement. Let us move on to a paragraph. Underground movement. At the end of 1942, the public movement got a new turn. The leadership of this movement went into the hands of young socialist activists Jayaprakash Narayan, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia, Chotubai Puranik, Achyutrao Padwardhan, Aruna Asif Ali, Yusuf Meher Ali, Sujeta Kripalani, S.M. Joshi, Shirubai Limaye, N.G. Gore, Yashwantrao Chavan, Vasundada Patil, Mangalal Bagdi, Usha Mehta, such leaders were in the forefront. These were the leaders who started this type of underground secret movements. And the leadership of these movements were in the hands of some of the socialist activists. Their leader was Jayaprakash Narayan. Along with him, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia, Chotubai Puranik, and other leaders were there. The activists disrupted the transport and communication as well as the government machinery by causing the breakdown of railway routes, cutting of telephone line, blowing up bridges, etc. So they started completely disturbing the British communication system, such as they were cutting communication system like telephone lines, etc. And they broke down the railway routes, and they blowing up the bridges, they broke the bridges, etc. So we could see the impact of this movement in all over India. The impact of the movement was seen all over India. That means all the Indian people started participating, or all other Indian people, they started rendering their support towards this movement. Hemo Kalani in Sindh province tried to destroy the railway along with his companions when he received the news of the passing of a railway carrying British troops and supplies. The court punished him to be hanged to death. So one of the major incident happened by this activist, that Hemu Kalani. He was from Sindhu province. So along with his companions, he destroyed the railway line because he heard the news that the train carrying the British troops, British people and their supplies, their food, ammunition, etc. So he, along with his companions, he destroyed the railway line which the train is passing. So that because of this incident, he was arrested and hanged to death by the British court. The court punished him to be hanged to death. Bhai Kotwal's Asad Dasta in Karjat Taluka of modern day Raigad district, General Avaris Lal Sena in Nagpur, such groups made the government helpless and witless for months. That means these people were giving tough fight against the British government. Asad Dasta was a group, was an organization. Its leader was Bhai Kotwal, and he was from Raigad district. And General Avari, Lal Sena, this was another revolutionary group. The leader of this group was General Avari. He was also from Nagpur area. These people, these groups and these leaders had given tough fight against the British, so the British government became helpless. They could not do anything against these people. In Mumbai, Vittal Zaveri, Usha Mehta, and her companions established a secret transmission center named Azad Radio. Patriotic songs were sung on it. News of agitations in the country were broadcasted on it. Patriotic speeches were telecasted. This gave encouragement to the agitators. Such transmission centers operated at Kolkata, Delhi, Pune for some period of time. In this way, many people started their secret transmission center, especially radio center. One of the radio center was Azad Radio. It was running by Usha Mehta and her companions. Through this radio station, they started telecasting some patriotic songs, which became an inspiration for the people to participate in the freedom struggle. And they were also delivering inspiring speeches, so that people got inspired. So, thus people became to encourage themselves and participated and started participating in freedom struggle. So this type of transmission center, telecasting center had been started at Kolkata, Delhi, Pune for some period. Later it was confiscated by the British government, and thus its work became stopped. Now we will learn the establishment of parallel government. What is parallel government? Parallel government means equivalent to the British government which was running in India. That means the government which is equal to the British government in India. People's government is also known as people's government. That means the Indian people started their own government equivalent to the British government. At some places in the country, the British officers were driven out and the people's government was established. Wherever the British government was there, from that places, the Indian people had driven out the British officers and they took the responsibility of the particular government there. And this type of government is known as parallel government. These are called parallel government. Parallel government were formed in districts of Midnapur in Bengal, Belia and Asamgarh in Uttar Pradesh and Purnia in Bihar. Parallel government means wherever the Britishers had government, some of the provinces the Britishers had government, and in these places local people took the charge of the government and they started ruling there. The Indian people themselves started ruling in that particular area, and the government came into the hands of the people. This type of government is known as parallel government. Such type of parallel government formed in districts of Midnapur in Bengal, Belia and Asamgarh in Uttar Pradesh, and Purnia and Bihar. In these three places, people took the charge of the local government. Before, it was under the control of the British officers, but the people in that local area driven out the British officers and they took the responsibility of running government there. In this type of government started in Bengal, Belia and Asamgarh in Uttar Pradesh, and Purnia in Bihar. In Satara district of Maharashtra, in 1942, Kranti Singh Nana Patel brought an end to the British government and established parallel government. In Satara district of Maharashtra in 1942, British government, the British officers were driven out from the place and Kranti Singh Nana Patel and his associates took the charge of the particular government there. At Kundal, under the leadership of Kranti Agrani GD alias Bapu Lal, Tufan Sena was established. Tufan Sena took the charge of the government at Kundal also. Through this medium, collection of taxes, maintenance of law and order, punishment to criminals, such work were done by parallel government. So, how the British was functioning the government or doing their rule there. The same way the work of the parallel government was done by the Indian people. They also done the same way how the British government was ruling, such as collection of taxes also started by the Indian people in those parallel government, and they also started maintaining law and order there. They appointed policers wherever the military support is there. They appointed military people. This type of maintenance of law and order was also done by the parallel government. They also started giving a judgment, justice to the people and judgment, etc., so that they given punishment to criminals. So the such constructive works were done by parallel government as well, how the British government was doing. People started accepting the verdict passed by the People's Court appointed by parallel government. That means people started accepting the work of parallel government and their judgment, verdict, etc. And opposition to money lenders, prohibition on liquor, spread of literacy, opposition to caste distinction, many such constructive work was done by government. Many money lenders were there. They were giving money to the poor farmers, and if the farmers were not able to uh, repay their loan, then their land were confiscated. The type of money lenders were there. They were harassing the poor farmers and people. So this system was stopped by this parallel government, and they also prohibited liquor and spread of literacy. People, the parallel government encouraged the people to start learning, do primary education, etc. Opposition to caste system. So parallel government brought some rules to oppose this type of caste system. Caste system was very common in those times. So many such work, constructive work, very good work, useful work done by this parallel government. So parallel government, which are the constructive work or useful work done by parallel government? They maintain law and order. They started the taxes from the people to run the government, and they given punishment to criminals, and they started opposing money lenders, opposition to money lenders. They prohibited liquor. They spread the literacy and opposition to caste system. These were the useful work done by parallel government. Due to it, the parallel government became source of inspiration for the public. So after forming this type of parallel government in many places in India, Indian people understood that they are capable for running a government in India. And this became an inspiration to the Indian people. Now we are going to study importance of Quit India movement. The 1942 movement took up the form of a nationwide agitation to fulfill the objectives of gaining independence. Lakhs of Indian made unlimited sacrifices, means to fulfill the freedom or to fulfill the independence. Many Indian people became ready to sacrifice their lives. Many sacrificed their lives. The number of people participating in the struggle was so huge that even all the prisons in the whole of the country were not enough to contain them. That means people were willingly, voluntarily accepted punishment, and they were ready to go to jail, and they were ready to sacrifice their lives for the people. So they were ready to go to jail. They were ready to go to jail. So the Britishers were arresting the people. In this way, all the prisons, even all the prisons in the whole country, were not enough to contain them. Then means all the prisons became full because the Indians were voluntarily accepting their arrest, etc., because they were ready to sacrifice their lives for getting freedom. The patriotic song composed by Sane Guruji, Rashtradan Tukdoji Maharaj, and others increased the enthusiasm of the agitators. Many of the poets had written many inspirational songs, speeches, etc. And through these songs, composed by Sane Guruji, Rashtradan Tukdoji Maharaj, gave an encouragement for the people to participate in a freedom struggle. So they got inspired, and they many people started coming forward to participate in the freedom struggle. This nationwide movement is also called August Kranti. So in the year 1942 movement is also known as the 1942 Quit India movement is also known as August Kranti, because on August it started all over India uh, together, and this type of Quit India movement is also known as August Kranti. Now Indian National Army or Azad Hind Sena. Indian while talking about Indian freedom struggle, we have to mention, surely we have to mention the name of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and his organization Indian National Army or Azad Hind Sena. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose took the phenomenal effort for gaining independence in India. On the eastern borders of India, thousands of Indians stood in readiness to fight against the British. All these soldiers belonged to Azad Hind Sena. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was their leader. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose had formed an organization known as Indian National Army or Azad Hind Sena. It was working at the eastern borders of India. Through this organization, many people, thousands of Indians, became ready to fight against the Britishers. Indian National Army leader was Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose was an important leader of Indian National Congress. He graced the position of the President of Congress twice. Two times he became the President of Congress, Indian National Congress. As, as per his opinion, while England was engaged in the Second World War, the Indians should take the advantage of it and make the movement more intense. If necessary, India should seek the help of enemies of England. But there arose a difference of opinion between him and other senior leaders of Congress. As a result, Subhash Chandra Bose resigned from the position of president. To place his views in front of the people, he founded a party known as Forward Bloc. His opinion was that the British government now they are engaging in Second World War, so the Indian people should take the advantage of this situation and make the freedom struggle more intense, more strong. And if we need, we can take the help of the England, such as Germany and Japan. During Second World War, Germany and Japan were the enemies of Britain. So his opinion was that if we need, we can take the help of the enemies of England, as well as we can make our freedom struggle more intense. But other Indian National Congress leaders were not supported his opinion, and there were difference of opinion between him and other senior Congress leaders. Because of these differences, he resigned from his position of president. He was then he was the president of Indian National Congress. Because of these differences of opinion, he had to resign from this position, and he made another party known as Forward Bloc. The name of the party formed by Subhash Chandra Bose was known as Forward Bloc. Through his speeches, Netaji appealed to the Indians to revolt against the British rule. Due to it, the government imprisoned him. Subhash Chandra Bose went on fast unto death in the prison, due to which the British government interned him in his residence. He was arrested. Through his speeches, he was encouraging the Indian people, so that the British government arrested him and kept in jail. But in jail, he started fast unto death. So that the British government had to release him from the jail and kept in house arrest. Interned him in his residence means made him house arrest. From there, he escaped in disguise. In a cheating way, he escaped from his own residence, where the Britishers made him house arrest. In April 1941, he reached Germany. Germany was the enemy of England. So he reached Germany. There he founded Free India Center, a new organization he formed there. From the Berlin radio station in Germany, he appealed to the Indian people to join in an armed struggle. With weapons, the Indian people should struggle. That was his intention, so that he given speeches through uh, German radio, Berlin radio station from Germany. During this period, Rash Bihari Bose invited Subhash Chandra Bose to Japan. Japan was another enemy of England, another Indian revolutionary. His name was Rash Bihari Bose. He was there in Japan in that time. So, in this situation, Rash Bihari was invited Subhash Chandra Bose from Germany to come to Japan. Now we are going to study formation of Indian National Army. We already know that the National Army was an organization formed by Subhash Chandra Bose. Now we are going to study the background of the formation of Indian National Army. Rash Bihari was staying in Japan since 1915. We already understood that Rash Bihari was living in Japan. He invited Subhash Chandra Bose to Japan, and he was there in Japan since 1915. He had organized the Indian patriots living in countries of Southeast Asia and established the organization named Indian Independent League. Rash Bihari Bose had an organization in Japan. Its name was Indian Independence League. He had organized the Indian people who were residing in Japan and formed an organization known as Indian Independence League. In the early part of 1942, Japan conquered the territories of Southeast Asia, which were under the control by British. Thousands of Indian soldiers and officers in British army there fell into the hands of Japan. Rash Bihari Bose, with the help of Captain Mohan Singh, formed a battalion of these Indian prisoners of war. It was named as Indian National Army, Azad Hind Sena. Later, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose led Indian National Army. So, the thousands of Indian soldiers were there in British army. While fighting with Japan, these all soldiers fell into the hands of Japan. That means these all Indian soldiers came into the custody of Japan military. So, with the help of Captain Mohan Singh, he was a army officer. He also fell into the hands of Japan. Uh, with his help, Rash Bihari Bose formed a battalion of these Indian prisoners of war. And this group is known as Indian National Army. That means most of the members of Indian National Armies were soldiers who were fell into the hands of Japan while fighting with the Britishers. Later, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose led Indian National Army. So, actually, who were the founder of Indian National Army? Rash Bihari Bose. After Rash Bihari Bose, the leadership of Indian National Army came into the hands of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. In October 1943, Netaji established Azad Hind government in Singapore. Shah Nawaz Khan, Jagannath Bhosale, Dr. Lakshmi Swaminathan, Gurubaksh Singh Dhillon, Prem Kumar Singhal, etc. were his chief associates. Captain Lakshmi Swaminathan was the commander of Rani of Jhansi Regiment. Netaji appealed to the Indian people, "You give me blood and I will give you independence." That was his clarion. So later, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose made a new government in Singapore with the help of Shah Nawaz Khan, Jagannath Bhosale, Dr. Lakshmi Swaminathan, Gurubaksh Singh Dhillon, etc. And Captain Lakshmi Swaminathan, she was the commander of Rani Jhansi Regiment. And through this group, he appealed, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose appealed or requested to the Indian people that you give me blood. That means you be ready to fight with the British people, or you be ready to sacrifice their lives for getting independence. Then if you are becoming ready to give their blood or give their service to me, then I will give you independence. That was his clarion. Now we will study the achievements of Indian National Army. In November 1943, Japan conquered Andaman and Nicobar Islands and handed over them to Azad Hindu government. Andaman and Nicobar Islands were under the control of the British government. Japan was the great enemy of the British during Second World War. They conquered Andaman and Nicobar Islands from the custody of the Britishers, and the Japan given the responsibility of ruling in this area into Azad Hindu government. That means Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Later, Netaji renamed them as Shahid and Swarajya. The name of Andaman and Nicobar Islands became Shahid and Swarajya when Netaji renamed it. In 1944, Indian National Army captured the Arakan province in Myanmar. Myanmar was also under the control of the British government. With the help of Japan, Indian National Army captured this Arakan province in Myanmar area. Posts on the eastern border of Assam were also captured from British custody. In the same period, the campaign of Imphal remained incomplete because Japan stopped helping Indian National Army. Indian National Army was about to capture this Imphal province from British custody, but suddenly the Japan stopped helping Indian National Army. But in adverse circumstances, soldiers of Indian National Army were dedicatedly fighting. But in the same period, Japan accepted defeat. Later, Japan was defeated by the Britain. That's why the Japan could not help Indian National Army more. So that this Imphal campaign or Imphal venture became a failure for Indian National Army. On 18th August 1945, Subhash Chandra Bose died in a plane accident. On this background, the soldiers of Indian National Army had to lay down their arms. Thus entered the thrilling phase of the Indian National Army. So after the death of Subhash Chandra Bose in a plane accident on 18th August 1945, the Indian National Army was laid down their arms. Means they stopped their fight against the Britishers because they lost their leader. So this was the end of the thrilling phase of Indian National Army against the British rule. Later, the British government charged the officers of Indian National Army with treason. They given severe punishment. They all caught by the British British army, and they got severe punishment. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Bhulabhai Desai, Tej Bahadur Sapre, these expert lawyers defended them. These people, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Bhulabhai Desai, Tej Bahadur Sapre, were the lawyers of these all people. But the military tribunal held the officers guilty and they were sentenced for life imprisonment. But the British court found that these all people are guilty people, so that they got severe punishment. They kept in jail and they got a life imprisonment. Therefore, there was a severe unrest against the British government in the minds of the Indian people, so that all started hating more the British government and their work. Finally, the British government had to suspend the punishment given by the military tribunal. Later, the British government had to cancel the punishment which were given by them for the Indian National Army leaders. Now we will study the revolts of Indian Navy and Air Force. How Indian Navy and Air Force started giving tough fight against the British government, that we will study now. The Navy and Air Force soldiers, with the inspiration from Indian National Army, caused a discontent against the British government. Many soldiers, Indian soldiers, were there in British Navy and Air Force. They started fighting against the British government. They started showing their discontent, dissatisfaction against the British government. It burst out on British warship Talwar in Mumbai on 18 February 1946. The soldiers unfurled the tricolour flag on British warship. They raised slogan against the British government. On 18th February 1946, the members of this British warship named Talwar, they started unfurling. They hoisted the Indian tricolor flag on the British warship. This was a great insult for the British people, because the Navy officers or the members of this Talwar warship, they started hoisting Indian tricolor flag. This became a great insult for the British people. There and these people, the Navy officers and Air Force officers, they raised a slogan against the British government. The British government sent army to open fire on naval soldiers. They started firing. They started giving open fire against these naval soldiers. The rebels also made counterattack with firing. That means both the parties started firing each other. The workers and the common people extended their support to naval soldiers outside the warship. Other people, the common people and the workers in different fields started supporting the naval soldiers. Finally, with the mediation of Sardar Vallabhai Patel, the naval soldiers laid down their arms. How the war in naval area came to end? Because of the intervention or mediation of Sardar Vallabhai Patel. Sardar Vallabhai Patel had taken initiative to talk with both parties. That means Indian naval soldiers and the British government. Thus, this fight came to end. To support the uprising of naval soldiers, the Air Force officers from Delhi, Lahore, Karachi, Ambala, Meerut, etc. went on strike. That means many people, especially from Air Force officers from Delhi, Lahore, Karachi, Ambala, Meerut, they also went on strike by supporting the naval soldiers. These revolts were a clear indication that the sentiments of discontent against the rulers had reached climax. In this way, the period between 1942 to 1946 shook the foundation of British power in India. So, means all the people in different fields became ready to fight against the Britishers, and they showed their complete dissatisfaction against the British in India. So, the period between 1942 to 1946 became a mentionable period, because in this period people, more people became ready to fight with the British people, and they showed their complete dissatisfaction against the British rule. Through the Quit India movement, the severe discontent of Indian people against the British was expressed. Through this Quit India movement, they showed their complete dissatisfaction against the British rule. Army, Navy, and Air Force were the backbone of British power. They were also now opposing British. Uh, British rule was here extended only with the support of Army, Navy, and Air Force. Now, all the Indian soldiers of Army, Navy, and Air Force started fighting against British, even though they were working under British government. So this became a great blow for the British people. They were also now opposing the British. Due to this incident, the British rulers now realized that they will not be able to empower India for a longer period of time. Because of this incident, the Britishers realized that their rule in India will not be lasted long period, because they thought that they understood that they should leave from India, or Indian people uh, will be ready to sacrifice their lives for getting freedom. And in this way, the freedom struggle was also becoming more and more stronger. So the Britishers also realized that their rule in India will become end. This was the great incident, or Quit India movement started in India. I hope everyone understood the lesson well. Read the lesson very well and understand more. Thank you.